after taking your notes on the neutral palette on page 29, you're going to go ahead and turn to the next page. And at the bottom right corner, go ahead and write down 30. And then go ahead and take your neutral palette rubric and glue that to the top of your page. Okay, so for this assignment, you are going to make a 6x6 area to work with, making sure once again 1 inch from the bottom of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and make my marks at the bottom to make sure it is 1 inch from the bottom of the page. Go ahead and line your marks together and make a horizontal line going across. Do that lightly in pencil. And then go ahead and find your center. So my center is 4 1/4 because my page is 8 1/2 across. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my 6x6 square, place that where it says center with my center mark, and make sure that the bottom of the square lines up with the bottom of that line I created. And go ahead and trace around your 6x6 square. Go ahead and erase the lines on the left side and the right side, so we're just left with our square here. And my center mark is a little too prominent, so I'm going to erase that as well. Okay, so we are going to divide the square into several sections to demonstrate a neutral palette. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to take our ruler and line that up with the top of your page, or top of your square. Then you are going to make a mark at 1 inch. You are also going to make a mark at 1 1/2 inches. Okay, to keep that from getting too confusing, what we're doing is dividing one column here from 3 columns we'll make in the center, and then another column on the right hand side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move my ruler over. So the 0 mark is going to line up with this second mark we just created at the top of our square. And now we're going to go ahead and make a mark at every inch. So at the 1, 2, and 3. And the last one, we're going to make a mark at 3 1/2. Okay, so we're going to do those same exact measurements at the bottom of our square. So let me walk you through that one more time. So you're going to make a mark at 1 inch and 1 1/2 inches. We'll scoot our ruler over to where the 0 mark lines up with that second mark we just made. Make a mark at the 1, the 2, and the 3, and 3 1/2. Okay, so several columns we're going to go ahead and create here. Let's go ahead and line up our marks to make our vertical lines. Okay, so these two columns on the left and the right hand side, we are going to have it separated from this here. So the way that we do that, we're going to go ahead and erase this line here. So notice how I just erased that, so now it's starting to look more like a separate column from the center area. So I erased those two areas there, and we're going to do the same with the bottom. So we want it to look separate from the center area here. Okay, the next step, I'm going to go ahead and rotate it this way. On the left-hand side of your square, you're going to make a mark at every inch. So once again, making a mark at every inch, you're going to do that on the left-hand side, and repeat that on the right-hand side. So after you have made those marks, you're going to go ahead and line them up together. Now pay attention to how I'm creating my line. So notice I make a line here in this column. Then I'm going to skip this one, this skinny column here, and just do the 3 that's in the center. And then I'm going to repeat that on the right-hand side there. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and repeat making your lines in that fashion. So this first column, skip the next one, do the 3 columns, and then the last one here. And just keep repeating. And make sure your lines are nice and straight. Okay, so this is what our areas should look like for the neutral palette. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is label each area. Okay, so to make your neutrals, you are going to mix your complementary colors together. So for this first row here, this first square will be painted yellow, and then the square over here on the right will be painted violet. And basically what happens in the middle here, you're going to end up mixing them together to make more of a brown type of palette. Okay, next we have red, which will be mixed with green. Moving on to blue and orange. I'm going to go ahead and abbreviate the intermediate colors. So we have YG for yellow-green, RV for red-violet, BG for blue-green, RO for red-orange, BV for blue-violet, and your last one, YO for yellow-orange.